What's going on, everyone? Hunter, Sherb, Matt, and Lizzie here to bring you event number 2 of the Age Group Online Qualifier. Coincidentally, one of the first workouts we recommend doing on this weekend. If you guys want to get the full breakdown as far as how we recommend doing all 6 of these events, go back, check out the first video that we made with AGOQ event 1, and you'll get that full breakdown. But coming up, we've got 4 time with a 15-minute cap. Basically 4 rounds of 15 chest to bar pull-ups and 10 overhead squats, and that barbell gets a little bit heavier each time. Sure, initial thoughts, kind of like points of performance for these guys?
Initial thoughts, one, you gotta know yourself a little bit. Make sure you guys have a strategy for attacking the chest to bar pull-ups and how you're gonna attack the overhead squats. For some of you, that's gonna mean snatching that barbell and going right into your overhead squats. For some of you, that's power clean, get it on the back rack, reverse or behind the neck jerk, and then squat it. That's step number 1. Step 2, for the chest to bar pull-ups, kind of touched this in the last one, but you maybe might be breaking them up. You don't have to go 15 unbroken every single time, but again, you can't get caught in the time warp of standing around, look at the pull-up bar. So splitting them up might be a good strategy for some of you out there. And last but not least, make sure you warm up your overhead squat. All right, we watch a lot of athletes who work really, really hard day in and day out, only to get disqualified or hit reps taken away from them in qualifiers in the open because of mobility issues. They don't warm themselves up properly. So really take the time to make sure you can get through a deep range of motion overhead squat. Hold yourself accountable. Make it obvious. Don't leave anything in question. Shoulders are warm, hips are warm. Have good overhead squats. Don't leave anything to chance.
Yeah, I think understanding what you're going to do with that barbell, especially at that 185, 115, the 225, 145, I think for a lot of masters, that's a line where as long as I can get it overhead, lock it into a good position, I could probably eke out those 10 unbroken. But again, that comes down to how well did you warm up? Did you look like shit when you were doing your chest to bar pull-ups and first 30 overhead squats and now you're in a terrible position? Or did you do your due diligence, get loose, and those things look really good?
Absolutely.
So yeah. So Matt, initial thoughts, kind of quick strategy?
I think that last barbell is going to be pretty heavy for me to get overhead, so I'm just going to have to be careful about the way I do my pull-ups and make sure that I can get it overhead stable and try not to drop it too many times.
Yeah, and you have pretty good pull-ups. Are you thinking you're going to break it up early, or are you?
I'll probably break up the latter rounds.
Okay.
But early on, I might try to do like the first or potentially second rounds unbroken.
Okay. Nice. Liz?
I'm thinking I'll probably break up the pull-ups 9 and 6 and then go unbroken on the squats if possible.
Yeah.
Save some time.
Yeah. I think either way, whichever, again, know yourself. Do not risk trying to snatch that, put yourself in a bad position and miss a rep, and make sure that, again, you're ready to put that barbell overhead, because I don't have to tell you guys, but you probably don't want to have to pick that thing up again.
Nothing's fucking worse than picking it up twice.
Yeah, either pick it up twice when you didn't want to. No. So. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go shoot event number 2, see how these guys do, and we'll be back for a few tips after. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So that was event 2 of the age group online qualifier. Lizzie, Matt, nice job. Lizzie came in at 7:14. Matt was
8:20.
8:20. Looked kind of like as expected. First couple weren't too bad, and then it was just like how you handle that last bar. So, Liz, start with you.
Yeah, that last barbell felt significantly heavier than the one before it. I think I picked it up too soon. If I had waited a little bit, I think I could have cut out one of my 3 sets and saved some time there.
It's a pretty beefy jump. 30 pounds and one barbell. It's a big jump.
And that back rack going, because I squat snatched the first 2, then power snatched, and then clean to back rack, and that felt really bad. so
Felt really bad.
I think doing more of those would have been very beneficial.
So just in like the warm up.
Yeah.
You talking
Yeah.
about practicing that like
and I did,
to the back rack? Or?
Yeah, I did some, but I don't think I was like tired enough while I was doing them,
Right.
so it felt fine. And then my arms felt dead, and the bar was like either really high on my neck or like falling off my back.
And so you went unbroken, then you broke your pull-ups up in rounds 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
And you said if you waited a little bit longer before that last bar, you probably could have cut out a set because it took you 3 sets to do that last bar.
Yeah.
And you're like definitely above average strength for females. So just like
And chest to bars.
waiting and males and Sherb and I, and chest to bars, fitter in general, but just like waiting a few extra seconds
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt?
Yeah, I would echo that. I definitely was not ready to pick up that last barbell, and kind of screwed myself by trying to pick it up and dropping it 3 times. So I think if I had just calmed down a little bit before that last one, especially, took a few more seconds to kind of catch my breath, I probably would have panicked less and been able to just get them done in maybe 2 sets without the 3 attempts in between. I think the way I did my pull-ups was okay. Like I felt all right. Maybe splitting them up from the beginning might have helped a little bit as well. I did 15-15 and then 9-6 on the 3rd round and then 3 5s on the 4th round. So maybe splitting them up 9 and 6 all the way through might have helped with that as well. Just kind of gave my breath before the end of the workout.
Oh, Castle. So, I mean, the way we, originally thought about it kind of went in that same fashion.
Yeah.
Knowing yourself is super important. The one thing I would definitely emphasize is when you get ready to warm up and you've got yourself out of breath, that you put the 3rd or 4th barbell weight onto the barbell and practice it when you're fatigued, because you have to know what it's going to feel like when you go to do it in the workout. Because both these guys experienced what it was like to go over and do probably a smaller set than you guys wanted to start. Like I said, 2, and Matt, you actually did a pretty big set to start, but then you had to take a significant rest before you did another one. So it's really important that you have a good solid strategy going into those 3rd and 4th barbells so you don't waste any extra time or effort. And really just going back to knowing yourself and knowing how quickly you can grab that, because like Lizzie and Matt said, if you give yourself another 10 seconds, maybe you knock down 1 set, and 1 set is 30 to 40 seconds because you're not dropping the barbell and picking it right back up. I definitely agree with you on the pull-ups. Like it's smart to break them up from the go. It honestly reminds me of the age group online qualifier, I think from 2 years ago. That was like 5 rounds of 25 chest to bar pull-ups and ascending weights of power cleans. People crushed the first 3 rounds, and then they stood around a lot at I think it was 205, or maybe it was 225 and 245.
It was all 245.
Oh, was it all 245?
Yeah,
Well, either way, it was some heavy power cleans after some chest to bar pull-ups. You can definitely see what happens to not only your heart rate, but your pulling, your ability to stay calm and relaxed when it gets heavy and your heart rate's up and your arms are pumped out. So really comes back to knowing yourself. I thought you guys did a really good job hitting the range of motion. I didn't see any issues there. I don't know if you had any issues on your end. So definitely a good job there. And then really, this is one of those ones where if you time up a break or you take an extra couple seconds before you do one, you could knock 2 or 3 minutes off your first go to your second or third go, because having watched it, people who can really handle those last 2 barbells are going to get this done somewhere in that like 3.5, 4 minute upwards to like 6 minutes is what I'm kind of thinking for a top time on this.
I don't know. I think we'll see a sub 5. I don't know about 3.5.
I think 4s you'll see. I do think, I mean, someone like Kyle Casper, yeah, I think someone in the 4s will get there. Maybe not 3.5, but 4s I think are realistic. So.
Okay. Cool. All right. That's it from Misfit Athletics HQ. Sherb, Hunter, Lizzie, Matt. Thanks to you guys for coming out.
Appreciate it.
We will be back tomorrow with the remaining workouts from the age group online qualifier in the order we recommend. Don't forget to check out the previous video for the schedule that we recommend. We'll be back. See you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.